Sorry, partner. This west is my west. You need to get out.
Actually, we're in West Virginia, where us Mr. Handys and super mutants have existed for many years. This is our west.
Maybe you'd like to tell that to my friend here, the Galactic Cowboy, with the power to stop you in one punch. Oh, just look upon that majestic creature. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's very impressive. Or perhaps, my friend, this Red Dead Redemption book by Matt Margini and his friend, the reader, can say it. And how will they say it? Well, with the reader's decapitation power, of course.
Oh my god! Oh, he really did it! Oh, gross, that's so bloody. Oh, I heard it pop. Oh, gross.
Tastes like brains. For the next 10 minutes, I'm going to tell you why I loved this book, Red Dead Redemption. And it may surprise you, but this book isn't actually just about Red Dead Redemption. But that's a good thing, I promise. See, this book by Matt Margini does one of the things that, for me, all great books should do. And all great nitro beers should do, which is pour without spilling. You were scared. You thought it was going to overflow. Wait, that doesn't make sense because his book doesn't not overflow. Anyway, the metaphor is lost. When I reviewed Postal by Nathan Rabin and Brock Wilbur, I noted another thing that great books do. They force us to ask and really think about interesting questions. In that book, the question was, can I love a product made by unlovable people? Now, there's no definitive answer. It's a question of ethics and morals that each person has to answer for themselves. What Margini's book does is the other thing great books should do, which is related to asking great questions. Great books should be catalysts for understanding. Margini's book is perhaps one of the very best examples of a book that takes a seemingly benign topic and uses it as a catalyst to explore something much greater. This book examines the very American idea of fronterism through the lens of Western books and movies, and of course, a video game. And when I say that this is perhaps one of the best books to do this, I'm speaking from some level of authority. You see those books back there? I've read all of them, and I even understood many of them. So take me seriously when I say Margini's book is something special. Early in the book, Margini details the game developer's notoriously grueling development process. Rockstar has a history of overworking their staff. It's interesting that Margini decides to front-load the book with Rockstar's labor issues. Personally, I would have thought it better to praise the game itself for at least a chapter to get the reader excited about the subject before deflating the story. But as I read on, I realized Margini made a very smart and important decision. He uses this tension between a questionable development studio and its critically praised product as one of the first stepping stones to exploring the larger concept of the capital W West. As he says, in a lot of ways, the company's grueling development process haunts the game. The inescapable feeling that such scope, such complexity, and such detail was achieved at so great a human cost. As usual, the ironic gap between Rockstar's anti-authoritarian sensibility and decidedly authoritarian company policies resulted in a game that poses many questions that are worth posing to Rockstar itself. Every book must give the reader a reason to trust its author. Here is where I learned that Margini can be trusted. From here, the book flows into a series of generalized sections. With simple titles like Territory, Frontier, Death, and Cowboy, Margini grants himself the freedom to explore big ideas, further establishing the subject game as little more than a catalyst. In each section, Margini describes the associated element in Red Dead Redemption, and then hops among various reference materials, from classic Western movies to books written by experts on the Western genre. He reveals Red Dead Redemption to be so much more than a facsimile of existing Western archetypes. Red Dead Redemption via Margini is in fact a valid contribution to the genre, every bit as valid as the more famous representations like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Searchers, and A Fistful of Dollars, and several others that he includes in this book. There's a lot of references to Western movies in here. I have a to-watch list that's now very long. God, I can't think of words when I'm in the presence of such wordsmiths like Margini. He intimidates me. Now, the danger of casting such a wide net is the potential for the book to lack focus. But Margini has an incredible ability to synthesize an abundance of content into a simple, sometimes pithy statement, the way great essayists can. The expansive Western landscape becomes manageable when Margini writes, "It instills awe and terror, not because it's shrouded, but because it's empty. What you see is what you get." The intangible cultural impact of the Western genre becomes tangible when Margini writes, "The greatest generation, the silent generation, the boomers, all were raised on Westerns, which deeply affected the way they viewed the nation in which they lived and the wars in which they would inevitably participate." That's good stuff. Margini's Red Dead Redemption is a lot like the works of Mary Roach. Though Margini's book isn't humorous, nor is it personal, humor and personal implication are staples of Mary Roach's nonfiction, but Margini does approach a very wide topic via a series of smaller, nuanced access points. For Roach, the wide topic might be death, with the access points being stories about human cadavers or stories exposing purported psychics, or she might tackle space by asking, how do humans poop in a spacesuit? You'll find out here if you want. Margini approaches the capital W West, a massive thing that some see as the very embodiment of America, by way of a video game. I love it. Before reading Red Dead Redemption by Matt Margini, I hated the Western genre. I saw it only for its overt racism and sexism. I saw it as an outdated ideal only respected by people with outdated ideals. But after reading this book, I feel like I actually understand the genre and why it's important. I even respect it. Now, if you are watching this video before May 28th, I urge you to check out the Kickstarter campaign of which Matt Margini's Red Dead Redemption book is a part. Now, I've been a long-time reader of boss fight books. In fact, I've reviewed all of them. There's a link to that playlist in the description below if you like this type of video review. Though I did receive an early electronic copy of Red Dead Redemption from the publisher for the purpose of this review, I have backed the Kickstarter campaign myself with my own money because I have no doubt that the additional forthcoming books in this campaign will be fantastic. There's a link to the Kickstarter campaign in the description below. Check it out and see if it perks your interest. And if it doesn't, you just wasted precious seconds of your life, that's it. And if you've watched this far into the video, you must have found some sort of value in it, right? So please click the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to this channel for more video game book content. I also do game reviews and dumb skits. Thank you so much for watching.